power. I thank the universal truth and the absolute laws of nature for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. A divine mind knows, a divine mind shows. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. Peace and power to the people that struggle. As you come on in, know that this is a safe space. Know that this is a space for learning and getting learned up. Know that this is a space for educating and being educated. Know that this is a space for conversation, for comments and concerns, for questions and answers, for building and destroying, for intelligence and intellect. Know that this is a space of love. This is your space, a space where we work on a united front towards true and absolute liberation. As my classroom assistants come on in, please keep all contact information in the chat for the duration of class. Please keep all funding information in the chat for the duration of class. Yeah, I need some lunch today. I ain't make it outdoors. I need some lunch. Yeah, somebody give me a tuna club or something. Yeah, little tuna with a slice of maida or something, because we getting ready to go in today, damn it. If you or anybody you know, yes, you or anybody you know needs anger management, please book an assessment. If you or anybody you know is in need of domestic violence intervention, please book an assessment. Yes, if you or anybody you know, I'm talking about if it's your mammy and your pappy. If it's your granddaddy. Or your uncle. Yeah, or your damn it cousin Skeeter. Book an assessment. If it's your niece or your baby cousin. Man, if it's the Target man, if it's the parcels chick that come and drop off your parcels, book an assessment for you or for them. Learn the warning signs, the behaviors that you should be alarmed by, the characters that should alert you. Remember, domestic violence rates are skyrocketing, some mortally. So book an assessment. Remember, the information that you acquire, you dig, the life you save could be your own. What's going on? Yeah, y'all gonna fund this war effort today because, listen, we have to get to the bottom. I'm tired of this, man. I'm really tired of this discussion here. So somebody, and I know they be watching because I'm seeing a lot of the hats, somebody tag Choke. Please tag them. Ken, much appreciated for funding the war effort. Yeah, somebody tag Choke. Somebody tag Steve Rifkind. Somebody tag Diddy since he want to be on the beach and all that. Tag him. Tag everybody. Hype Williams and LL and Buster and all of them who were in these videos. Tag them. Because I got to get to the bottom of this. I'm telling you, one thing I don't do. We don't gossip. Not at all. Not here. Not here at Welcome to the Struggle. No, not this class. We have intelligent dialogue. And we got to get to the bottom of this, man, because we could just move on ahead. I call cap. I don't know about y'all, but I call cap. And today's class, should we get monetized, is sponsored by KY. Yeah, KY Jelly. Yeah. Vaseline. Yeah. And lotion. Yeah. Yeah. Should we get picked up? Those are the ads you will be seeing. Yeah. Let's get to it. And who's in class today? Tag your classmates. Tag your classmates. Y'all ain't got the giggle. I'm saying a lot of our stuff don't get monetized for the content. So I don't know what ad, but I mean, we can see what it do. Okay? So who's in class today? William Extra. Uh-oh. Salute. Costume. What's up? Lovely lady. Yeah. Okay, Snoop. The bear. What up? Salute. Yeah, A-Wood, what's going on? Rel Brown. 55, Rel. 55, Rel. Philip Boom. Yeah. Chop. What up, Chop? Yeah, we see you. Philly in the building. Yeah. Tamari. What up? Ninth. What's going on? Murder Gang. What's going on? Cool KK. Yeah. Moo, what up, Moo? Yeah. Merklow, yes. Corey Grant. Yeah. George Johnson. The Banks. We see you. Yeah. Bam. Philly in the building. Bam. What up? Yeah, Tierra. South Jersey. What up, T? Sean Jenkins. Kid Chris. Elusive Views. S. Beckle. We got London in the building. What up, Lil Brick? Magic. The Gressler, the Global Hustler. Cuckoo the Bag of Bones. Brooklyn born, Queens raised. Yes, the Underground Star is on the radios, on Sirius Radio. Listen, requests. Underground Star, Cuckoo, Bag of Bones in. We got Zurich, Switzerland in the house. We got London in the house. Philly, Jersey. Yeah. What up, LG? What up, Mike Nice? What up, C Blaze in the building? Yeah, Kim Williams. Yeah, Joe Public. Yeah, Mello. Yeah. Leaf. Arnold. What's going on? Yeah, Ed. 1050. Ed. 55. Ed. Yeah. Mac. J. St. Louis. What up? Yeah. Y'all up in here. Yeah. Big Swerve. Yeah. We up in here. What up? What up, Derek Thomas? What up? Yes, Sincere Truth. Brown Girl is up in the building. We got Masses in the building. Oh, home of the Kennedys. What up? Big Derek. What up? Yeah, Ken Williams. Ken. We got Kevin Willis. We got Vitamin Vision TV in the building. Hey, Ghoster in the building. Andrea Jones. Tyson. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Now, people have been in this space for a very long time. Yeah. People have been on social media. People have been in YouTube spaces. People have been way up. And people have fallen off. Right? That's just how life goes. At one time, everybody listens to an individual. And other times, people just don't care. Pay you no damn mind. But one thing we know for certain is that there's specific people and certain levels to these machines that are allowed to go viral. Trust me, it's an allowance. If it wasn't, all of us would go viral at any given time. Any given time. You understand? Somebody could have a cute moment with one of their damn pets and it go viral. Yeah. But it doesn't happen to us. It doesn't happen, okay? It doesn't happen to those who are attempting to inform, who are utilizing, excuse me, these spaces to encourage people to stay up, to elevate people. You understand? To get people to a different view of themselves and their world, and at many times to bring people back into the space of actual reality. Those individuals very rarely move into a viral space. Miss Reels, we see you up in here. Philippe, we see you up here. Jeez, we see you up in here. Yeah, you understand? Very few ever get to that space. And when they do, trust me, they're paid oppositions. You understand? They're very careful and cautious about what they say because they don't want to get reduced back down to the spaces of where no one hears them. People are very conscious of that. Trust and believe. Their egos can't take it. I want y'all to make sure that y'all recognize that. And in this space, one particular individual who, we were all aware of because we are of Generation Hip Hop was Choke. No joke. For a lot of statements that he made. You could even say at one point, he was riding the top of this space. Not that any of the information or content, if we want to call it that, ever changed the quality of anybody's life. It was put in the bucket over there with the Wendy Williams, right? Over there with the who else? Kind of entertainment information or for not even information, chatter. You dig? Now, I don't know why or how, but a recent interview or a clip of a recent interview on Comedy Hype is catching legs. Trust me, I have never known Choke to be a comedian or to have access to a bunch of comedians. Why this particular platform chose to interview him, I have not the inkling of an idea at all. Now, we do know and recognize that a lot of these platforms have come into the spaces of commercial rap, of hip hop, of street news, because without Hollywood pushing out, without Associated Press, without the AP Press pushing out storylines for them to move on, they don't have anything else. These are not people who are thought providers. Not at all. They're not. They wait for an event to happen. They get the green light from somebody. They speak on it. They network behind the scenes with a bunch of individuals who are like-minded to, again, run with gossip or create narratives for discussion to keep people who are not woke engaged. That's all they do. So we've been watching people like Boyce Watkins talk about hip hop. Somebody who was this professor of finance. He started going into the realm of hip hop. You dig what I'm saying? things like that. I'm trying to figure out how someone like Boy started speaking about drill rap and sexualized commercial rap, and that became, sort of the center of where he's moving. You understand? Like, if you was to what, like right now, live on one of Boyce Watkins' sub channels, you have 5 very distinguished or lettered or educated women talking about Ghostface and his son Infinite. Right? Like, really? That's the discussion. 5 of them. With only about 60 people viewing live. On a platform that used to once garner thousands live. But you see, again, when you are in these spaces that really have no true substance to the daily growth of people who are struggling, you're going to falter. They're going to go up and down, up and down, up and down. So again, I don't know if Choke paid comedy hype, or if comedy hype paid Choke, or if this was some buddy exchange, favor for favor. I don't know. I don't care. But I have to say, in watching the clip, I'm calling cap. I'm serious. There's too many stories, lanes in which comedy hype could be. They could be speaking about Steve Harvey's beef. They could be speaking about how D.L. Hughley shifted his position on Kamala Harris. They could have been talking anything. Brand new comedians on the set, up and coming, all type. Why? With this interview, choose this man. Now, ironically, old Buffy was just witnessed on a beach. Yeah. Him and Stevie J on a beach taking selfies with beach dwellers. You dig? This is the ironic piece here. For me. Okay? We had a Diddy sighting. A Puffy sighting. Yeah. On the beach. Yeah. Damn, they're fully covered. Right? Yeah. See, you laughed at me when I said I wear 10 boots on the beach and all that. I don't wear the shorts and all that. Your man used to be naked, damn near, in the club. Naked, damn near, in the studios. Naked, damn near, on the red carpet. Yet he's fully clothed on the beach since them allegations. Yeah. But I'm trying to, and you're going to have to help me out, that for the last, I'd say 8 years, that we've seen Choke, that this time right here is when you make this statement that Diddy tried to get your grippers? Come on, man. We've heard him say a lot of things before, and we have heard him insinuate that before. Yeah. But to right now be dead on, very specific and detailed, that Puffy, Diddy, no, not Diddy, he said Puffy, because this was back when he was Puffy. Puff Daddy even. Yeah. Right now, is when you want to make statement that this man looked in your eyes and thought about your grippers. Really? Not on your own platform. No. Not on the various other platforms you could have went to. No. This is on Comedy Hype. Yeah. That right now, the end of the summer, we getting ready to hit Labor Day weekend, that all this time, that this wasn't a consistent call, yell out, y'all don't have to worry about anybody else. Just me, Choke. I'm telling you for absolute fact that Diddy tried to get my grippers. That wasn't the call. He done spoke about Dame consistently, about Jay consistently about getting jumped, working for BT, working at Rock. But just now, right now, you are in the affirmative that Diddy thought you was a donut and wanted to glaze you. And then threw Steve Rifkind under the bus. Boom. And we are all knowledgeable of the fact that this is how the industry runs. But Steve Rifkind, Mr. Loud, Records himself, responsible for Wu, Tang, Big Pun, Mob Deep, Cellar Dwellers. Now, Steve Rifkind is thrown under the bus. This is a Steve Rifkind party. This ain't a Clive Davis function. It ain't a Diddy function. It ain't an Andre Harrell function. No, he said this was at a Steve Rifkind function on Comedy Hype platform. Now, it's not allegations. He didn't say anything about I thought maybe. He said, no, you know when a man is eyeing you down. Okay. So at this point, with all of these individuals, with the Russell Simmons allegations, with the Bambaataa allegations, with everything, and all these men that we have been speaking about, the internet has been going crazy about, all type of Grippergate, all type of everything. You, who at one point had the largest voice, never consistently said in the affirmative, you was going on at certain times every day. And you wasn't banging and saying, I know these allegations is true because he did it to me. I know these allegations are true because he did it to me at a Steve Rifkind function. That man wanted my grippers. He didn't say that consistently, right? What was the first thing Dan Aykroyd said when he got out of that cell? And he got bailed out. Y'all remember that? In Trading Places, he told his chick, those men wanted to have sex with me. Screamed it right in the middle of the precinct. You mean to tell me somebody who was getting anywhere between 3,000 and 5,000 people on his live at any given time, dude was on fire, he never ever consistently said that? I call cap. I don't know who took the gloves off and said that this is all right now, but listen, it would be different if he said it just happened. Okay? This is something they said happened in the past. Way, way back in the past. So let me get this right. Diddy. No. Damn, why I keep doing that. Puff Daddy. Wasn't powerful. Wasn't the all-powerful Diddy. We talking about somebody on the way up. Puff Daddy. At a Steve Rifkind party. Looked at Choke and said, yo, this is what he's saying. Let's set the setting. Matter of fact, because that's what he did. He said he was going to a function with Little Kim's manager at the time. Little Kim's manager took him to this party, this function. Now, if she knows and understands what's going on, if she is in that whip, why would she be taking you? So they trying to check your temperature because you must seem a little open and willing. Because at that time, I was around everybody. Nas, AZ, Wu, I'm in the circle. Yeah. Never invited to none of them parties or functions. No outward party. No. Backdoor offices, accountants, and having to know how to seek and search and destroy. None of them felt comfortable in that space to say, yo, come to this party. No, that's an open party where you stated everybody was waving the flag. Even though back then, that was a no way. People wasn't in that space back then. You admitted it. Nobody wanted to be that. Nobody wanted to know that. So everything was hidden. But she felt comfortable bringing you to this function. And you get there. Steve Rifkind. Owner and CEO of Loud Records. Having a party. Everybody there waving the flag but you. And after Sean Puffy Combs gave you, the Bambi eyes, you was like, hold up, wait a minute. No, I'm not with this. And pull and get up out of there with Lil Kim's manager. Now, knowing what most of us know, especially from back then, once you ain't a part of the party, and you were exposed to it, like him specifically, you refused him, you wouldn't have been nowhere else close to him at all. However, you said you worked at BET. And BET is a Howard University playground. It's an institution of all the party people from Howard. And Diddy represented it. Yeah. Diddy, Tracy Lee, all them dudes that was frats or whatever, anything that had to do with Howard was at BET. Big Tigger, all of them. And you, after refusing Diddy's gripper advances, you still was able to work there? Come on. I call cap. Not only was you allowed to continue to work there, but you still was able to rock round Rockefeller. How does that work? You know the inside, and you were still able to be in that mix? Nah. From what we know, anybody who found out about anything back then, before all the Illuminati talk, before all the conspiracy theories, before any of that, before social media, they was out of here, out of the whip. Some of your greatest rappers, inspirations were out of the whip. Gone. Career over. If those in charge and was partying and was really that, caught wind that they knew and wasn't with it, they was out of there. Quick, no explanation, nothing. All of a sudden, the songs ain't getting pushed no more. They not getting no shows. They ain't on the radio. That's just it. You out of there. No explanation. People to this day don't understand why. They was buzzing. They was hot. They was moving. They was doing it. And just out of nowhere, gone. Not understanding that, you wasn't part of that. And they wasn't explaining it to you back then. Now they gonna tell you. It's right on your front door. You want this contract? You want these shows? You got to come to the party immediately. Grip a gate. But back then, nah. So Puffy wasn't mad. Puffy didn't try to make sure that you never worked in this town again after he put Bambi eyes on you. That's what we supposed to believe. Hear me out. This is what we supposed to believe. Mr. Howard University, Mr. All-Powerful at Arista Records, Mr. All-Powerful on the radio, he got Wendy Williams up out of here. But you was allowed to still run around Rockefeller and all that? Really? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Because, and be careful with your wording, because if you say that you were still around and he couldn't do nothing to you and he was seeing you and it was all good, why he only attempted once? Why did he only attempt when he was Puffy or Puff Daddy? Why he didn't finish and go at you when he became P. Diddy or Diddy with the keys to the city? Why he didn't try to get it again? Yeah, I smell cap. Yeah, I smell cap. Because we know he don't sleep. He don't take no for an answer. Yeah. We seen him kicking girls down the damn hall when he became P. Diddy. Keys to the city and all that, right? Him and Hurricane G, because he's public enemy #1 and all that. When he had to see, when he's riding through the city, Puerto Rican Day Parade and all that, he never tried again? Really? Yeah, okay. From what we ever seen of him, and anybody who have had allegations against him, you ain't even as tight. Yeah, no Diddy. We seen Cassie, we seen Misa, okay? Oh, we seen, man, what was the allegations against Christopher Wood? Everybody. He ain't never sat up with nobody as dark as you or I, ever. And wasn't somebody that was powerful or creative, somebody he could make money with or move his power positioning up a little notch. camcorder man. Really? Somebody who is very threatening? They don't do that. It wasn't a thing back then. Sorry. It was very, very fearful and very in their lane. 91, 92, 93, 94. And they was in their lane. Huh? Come on now. Make it make sense. Kim Porter was the darkest I seen him with. Huh? Come on now. Make it make sense. Why did you not consistently do like everybody else who made these allegations? Consistently say, he tried it with me. Every time the camera was on you. Why not? Every time the camera was on you, you spoke about Jay or Dane. But you never consistently said, I know Diddy like that because he tried it with me. Why? Make it make sense. Why the Steve Rifkind party? When you do the search, the research, you find one event where Diddy and Steve Rifkind was photographed together. And at all of the pictures. One. And it was Steve Rifkind, it was Russell, it was Leo, it was Diddy, and Kevin Liles. All at some event. That's it. Talk about it. Talk about it. Make the connections. I would love to hear this. Why they throwing Rifkind up under the bus now, I don't know. I don't know. Let's work on that. Tag your man. Ask him to explain. I didn't see it. It's evident that in that comedy hype piece, they want you to be I guess a member to go there and pay to look at this full interview. I care not to. I really don't. Doesn't matter one way or another. Because like I said, if you're that way and you're waving that flag, man, please do your thing. Shit, I run the world now. It ain't no big thing. Do y'all. But stop the fronting and I'm stunting. Not wasting people's time. Because really, in all reality, what was the purpose for the interview? Some of them are saying that Choke is doing comedy now. Oh, okay. Salute. Yeah. They feel that that's the way to go. Salute. No doubt. I don't see no other purpose in him speaking about him doing shows, speaking about his journey through comedy. What does Diddy trying to get his grippers have to do with comedy? Ha! That ain't ha-ha funny. That's ha-ha funny. That's belly shaking and quaking funny. That Puffy Combs try to run up in him. What that got to do with comedy hype? What is the purpose of that platform? Just questions. That's all. Just questions. Okay? Now, let's get into, and again, I don't claim to know everything, which is why I'm an excellent student, an excellent learner, an excellent educator. I don't know everything. But I do know a whole lot. So I want to get into this specific video that he keeps throwing out there. And this person, okay, that he keeps talking about is trans. And it doesn't bother me, but it's very funny because he's the only one that speaks of this person, or maybe because he initiated this conversation. So anytime you make an attempt to research, you always go back. It always pushes back to choke. Why he always says research it, because everything goes back to him. But they keep talking about this person, this woman who's trans, who's in this Biggie video. Okay? I got questions. Not only is she in one, she's in 2 videos, and from what Choke as a legend, this is supposed to have been somebody who was involved with Hype Williams. Now, again, when people come, excuse me, on social media and put these statements in the air, these narratives in the air, there are people, other people, who are right there, who were right there, and people can ask them for whatever reason. I don't get it. That people just stick. That's not good investigation. That's not good journalism. That's not good content or anything being provided if you're sticking with one source and staying there. Now, I was a bit taken back when I first heard it, when they were saying, yo, this person is trans and is in big video, and all the narratives and all the posts and all that's going on, but this person is now unalived. Back then, many people used to go to video shoots if they had a plug, if they knew, right? Like a lot of people would think that Big's video for Big Papa was actually in a Brooklyn brownstone, right? I know for a fact because my co-defendant was at the video shoot. It was in Harlem. So when you see Ev walk up the stairs and, yo, ain't nobody getting in and all that, and they say somewhere in Brooklyn, that's really Harlem. There's a young chick who's in the vid on the back somewhere. That's actually her family home. So if you had the inside plugs, you dig? You were able to get to these shoots. Not that you would get in, but that was like a network, and that was like a bragging rights. People was like, oh, yo, yeah, I was there, yo, I seen this. And then you would wait for the vid to come out to see how it looked and edit it and all that. That was a thing. So there were always people from all walks of life, from different backgrounds, with different lanes, who knew different people. Okay? Why are we relying on him? Why are we relying on him when you got so many other people who were at both shoots that can say whether or not this was a trans person? Not that it matters, but this is what he consistently puts in the air. This is what he is hoping will keep him viral in conversations. Maybe this is why Comedy Hype did the interview. But I want to go to the casting, or rather the cast that was in both videos that we seen that individual in. Okay? Yeah. Big Papa warning, right? Well, just Big Papa. Yeah, warning, because that's when said person was in the bed too, right? The cast they got Misa. Craig, Matt, Tretch, Buster, and everybody else that was in the background. Buster is consistently and has been consistently doing interviews, going here, there, viral. Why not ask Buster? Buster was the one talking to this person. Why not ask homie in the green? Wherever he at, wherever he may be, he was talking to this person at the bar. Right? None of them have confirmed this information. Why? I know Spliff was there. I know it was various other people on that set. And no one else knows or knew, especially back then with the measurements and all that individual had. Do y'all research on what plastic surgery looked like back then. Okay? Go and look. And then really do your homework and see. Because I know because the porn industry, a lot of them was getting work done. Yeah, and all the girls in Black Tail magazines and Dynamite and Danger. What up, y'all? All them who had girls who were dancing that was getting it. The work was very shoddy. It wasn't something that you would be able to look at and not tell what it is. You can tell. But we're going to let them try to live with that right there, that space. But they're people. You can ask Tretch, Buster, Misa, writing in her book, on her IG spitting. Anybody can ask her, was that a trans person? Since this person is unalive, do any of is that person's family members willing to come forward and say, that was my cousin? Yeah, that was my child. That was my bestie. And yeah, that person that's in the video, yeah. And this is what they look like before. Yeah. These people around. Cast for the Flavor in Your Ear remix video. Crazy Drazy in school. That's a fact. They still here. Nobody asked them. Buster not gonna answer no questions, huh? Rampage got a new joint out. Yeah. Ramp Low. Yeah. Brooklyn Harlem joint. Go ask Rampage. He frequents social media. Yeah. Clubhouse and all that. Why not ask Rampage? Big is gone. LL still here. He just went to go see Jadakiss. Right? So he's hip. He understands social media. He knows how to move. He has an album out. Nobody asked L. He gave a whole different reason for whole different reason for what he said and what it was. It had nothing to do with that person. Okay? Mad Lion. Yeah. And he not going front if you ask him. Craig Mack is gone, so can't ask him. Doodlebug from Diggable Planets was on the set. Irv Gotti and Mike Geronimo. Mike talks. Ask Mike Geronimo. Funkmaster Flex was there. Flex won't come out and say whether or not. All of them was there. Back in those days, video shoots was 10 hours, food, breaks, all that. Come back the next day sometime. None of them. Hype Williams did them, directed them, got the budget for. None of them are willing to say that that was a trans person. So the only one that y'all got to believe is Joe. Really? Really? I'm saying. Well, he definitely knows. That's what he definitely knows. Look at it, research it. He definitely knows that. Yet for all these years, now, just right now, he's saying that Diddy wanted his grippers. Right now. Come on now. Come on now. And in it, again, this is true, because in the video, you see when the person went and the girl went and used the bathroom at the urinals with the two dudes. That's what they was promoting on the low. You see that person was in the bed? So now if this person isn't trans and was in the bed, like I know from back then, what was heavily being promoted was the initiating of threesomes and three-ways. And that rappers was getting so much money that this is how they was living now. That they was living like porn stars. So now, I know that because I know dude I was dealing with was definitely trying to go in that lane. You know, the dudes that we was doing security for, the dudes that was running around, right? Street rappers and all that. Yeah, them dudes was trying to live that lifestyle. Multiple women and all that. I know that for a fact. So that was the push. They wanted rap dudes to be like rock stars. And rock stars were trying to be like porn stars. Right? So now, the promotion or the agenda or the narrative that was being pushed in that video was that Big, this kid from the street, now is a boss and doing all these things. And the main essence was the club. It was making an attempt to promote the tunnel. Because at the time, New York clubbing for the hip-hop generation, co-ed bathrooms was crazy. It was a crazy idea. Dudes and chicks always been separated as far as bathrooms and all that. But Peter Gation, who owned multiple clubs in New York, always had that in there. Why? He's from Europe. He's a Euro. And Euro clubs was doing it for years. When I was in Germany in '88, those clubs had co-ed bathrooms. Now, when I'm saying promote the tunnel isn't a hip-hop club. And it wasn't new. The tunnel been there. Just like Limelight and all the other clubs that Peter owned. Wasn't new, but hip-hop being in the tunnel was new. Tunnel always did disco, house music, and all that. But hip-hop wasn't embraced in it like that. It wasn't. And he knew he couldn't get that audience in Limelight because we would have tore up Lower Manhattan and they probably wasn't giving him insurance to have hip-hop in there. Side highway. And out of the cut, it allowed for that type of traffic, for these type of individuals to consistently come there. And if it wasn't for Jessica, we wouldn't have been in there on a regular like that. Right? Because we wasn't only in the tunnel. If you follow Jessica and Stress Entertainment, we was in the tunnel, country club, Shit, she even had us in tavern on the green. Wherever Jessica was, she brought hip hop. Yeah. Okay? So it wasn't promoting that specific lifestyle. They were trying to promote the tunnel in that video. In the co-ed bathrooms. That's what they were doing. And it worked. Because after that, hip-hop was a mainstay in the tunnel. All the way from that era to about, I don't know when it closed. I was in the mountains, probably about 9-7. Well, DMX and them was in there 9-8. So shit, you talking about a good 4 years. So you say 9-4 to 9-8, 9-9 maybe, when they finally closed it, when Peter started catching them cases and all that. That much of a run in the tunnel. I know. Because I was on their neck. Yeah, the tunnel, you know, where you think they get the idea for the movie Belly and laying and sticking the tunnel up. Because dudes was on their neck. Anybody who was throwing that hammer back then had one of them security dudes as a man lining Jessica and them up. Lining them up. She was pulling 60, sometimes 70 grand a weekend. Man, maybe on a Friday or Saturday out of there. On their neck. So if she was doing that every week consistently, sometime maybe 2 hip-hop nights a week for 5 years, plenty paper. Plenty paper. And I'm talking about 70 grand is on the low night. Could imagine the nights when they was having X and all them doing, Jane them coming through, they probably was killing it. Yeah, I missed that little era. But the video in that particular part was promotion for the club. I'm telling you what it was. All that other narrative and all that other garbage that he's trying to, again, get into people who don't know. Get into the, I keep telling y'all, guard your mind. When you don't know, when you ain't of it, because we're talking about, come on. We in 2024. We're talking a quarter of a century ago. All right? A quarter of a century ago. When I tell you these dudes try to keep you stuck in a time and a space so they can capitalize, so they can eat off of you, what service is he providing by telling you that Puffy wanted to sniff up in his grippers? What? What service is being provided by Comedy Hype as a platform for you to know that information? We already saw the video. We seen how he moved. We had so many other allegations up until this point about the Puff stuff. Okay, either we believe in him or we not. And we waiting for him to go to trial and get convicted or not. But what purpose does it serve? What purpose? How is that moving us in a space where we sitting here in November and people are talking about who to vote for, who not to vote for, what rights, what privileges, what this are we losing, where we going, how do we make sure our kids are safe and secure, what? Anger management, DV, what? What scientifical? Yeah, I said it. Scientifical information can we use coming from an interview from a middle-aged man saying that another middle-aged man wanted to lube him up? I'll wait. I'll wait. So that's where the question becomes. Is it a false narrative? Is it fake news? Is it somebody wasting our time? And somebody trying to pull resources because you're watching it? Keep telling y'all time and space. What you watch, what you give views to, they make a resource. They eat. That's where we at with it. But someone sent it to me as always. And again, in my opinion, I believe it's cap. I believe it's cap. But for whatever purpose, I hope you know Diddy outside. Yeah, choke Diddy outside. Jay may be running around this way. You know, Dame may be in the hood. But Puffy outside. And if he wanted your grippers then, he might want them now. If I was you, shh. Don't tell nobody. Because you too could be on the beach somewhere. And him and Stevie, man, that's 2-on-1, Holmes. Man, you better watch your grippers. And on that note, classroom assistants, much appreciation for holding it down, for coming through. If you funded the war effort, much appreciation. If you shared the class, much appreciation. Come back to class with all 10 fingers and 10 toes. Listen, guard your mind, man. It's the only way you can win. Perception. You understand? It's the only way. Guard your mind. Question and answer everything. Research. All right? Don't just watch this stuff. Go in. Deep. Always. Always. Damn it, 55, gang. Get y'all grades up.